West Ham United take the short trip over to North London to take on Spurs tomorrow at 4:30 on Sky Sports. Both sides played midweek. Spurs did beat Brighton 2-0, and of course we were triumphant over Sevilla on Thursday night, with just 0 points separating the sides currently in the Premier League table. This is a massive game for the top six hopes for both sides. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. We're back. It's the Spurs versus West Ham pre-game breakdown as the chase for sixth is on. Firstly, before I get into anything, there's only one man I could get on. Sean, Spurs fan, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Really good. Yeah, chilled out about the game. It's a big game, but how the season's gone, it might sound daft, but it doesn't feel that big. Not really. I don't know. It's got that sort of fizzing out sort of feel to it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it'd be enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see who we've got in the chat. JJ, hope you are well. Lawrence from Alabama, hope you are down with the Spuds. Indeed. Hello to everybody else in the chat. Gary, how are you?
I'm still recovering from Thursday night, Jake, to be honest. What a night.
Yeah.
I've watched it over and over again on YouTube, I must admit.
Yeah. Before we get into it, Gary, just give us a little sum up of what it was like in that stadium and just give us a little sum up.
You know, walking to the stadium, I had a feeling we were going to do it, and the atmosphere was amazing before the game. They had the DJ whipping the crowd up. The players were up for it right from the start. The fans were behind the team all the way through. Even when we didn't score for the first half an hour, they stayed calm. Ariola made a fantastic save after about 20 minutes. When Souček scored, I mean, I've never heard a noise as loud as that when Souček went in. It was unbelievable. And even in the second half extra time, I still thought we were going to do it. And then the man again, what a week he's had, Yarmolenko. I mean, you know, all that's going on. He's hardly training, and he hasn't scored all season. Scores 2 in a week. Just fantastic. The emotion for him, it must be incredible. So it was a really, 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 really good night. Best night I've had at the stadium. He did go home to 2:30 in the morning, but there you go.
Brilliant. Sean, of course, you played midweek as well. You beat Brighton. How much of an advantage do you think it gives Spurs that we played 120 minutes on Thursday night and we chucked everything at it? And when I mean everything at that game on Thursday night.
Well, yeah, you'd think it might give a slight edge. Obviously, Tottenham beat Brighton. I think we spoke on last Sunday and Monday. Brighton have lost now. Is it 6 in a row they've lost?
Yeah.
They've sort of given up on their season. They didn't even have a shot on target at home against Tottenham. We played all right. Yeah, could have had 2 or 3 more. Probably should have had a penalty at the end. But yeah, you played it. Yours like a cup final, didn't you? A little bit. You had to play it like a cup final, and I don't know. You've had a few performances in the last couple of months where you've looked a little bit leggy, haven't you, here and there? Yeah, it might do. I don't know. Both teams might start look. I think West Ham go largely unchanged. He doesn't make many changes. I think Conte's found his favourite fit 11. Well, out of what's available, he's got his favourite 11. So yeah, they'll both. I think both teams there won't be many changes. They'll be chucked out and just see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Gary, what's your whole take going into this? Because many fans have said it's not that I don't care about this game, but I won't particularly mind if we lose after winning on Thursday night. Are you in that boat, or are you in the boat where this is another must-win game in a massive week for us?
You know what? It's probably the least bothered I've been about a West Ham Spurs game, because I don't know. It just feels like we put everything into Thursday, as you quite rightly said, Jake. And now this is a game we've got to play. And it's a massive game for Spurs because they're going for top 4 and their season's over pretty much if they don't get it. But we've still got the European to play for. People expect us to lose, A, because we're away to Tottenham, and B, because we've had a long game on Thursday night. So my only hope is Spurs' inconsistency, because haven't they gone one loss for ages, and they won the last game, so they're due a loss. So that's their only hope, is their inconsistency. So let's see. I'm looking forward to the game. Be interested to see what Moyes does. I think he'll rest a few players, so it could be a long game, because Kane now looks back on his form, and he's world class, Kane. As is Son, so if they're on the game, we're in for a tough afternoon.
Yeah, we've said it for the last good 3 weeks. On this channel on many platforms, Gary, that David Moyes is going to rotate tomorrow, and from that FA Cup game against Southampton, we haven't rotated unless it's been forced. Do you think David Moyes is now left with no other option to rotate, or do you think he's just going to go with whoever's available from the first team that he's, you know what, let's just chuck him in, whatever happens?
Well, we know Fabianski will come in for Areola. That's a fact. That will always happen. But I think we'll be surprised if Masuaku comes in for Cresswell because he had 120 minutes and was struggling. Rice and Souček always play, as we know. I think Antonio probably start, or maybe Vlasic will come in. We haven't got any choice of centre-backs. Maybe Diop might come in. So I think maybe 3 or 4 changes. I think we could get Vlasic in for somebody. We could get Fabianski, who would definitely come in. And maybe Masuaku. But other than that, it'd be the same team.
Yeah, definitely. Sean, Spurs coming into this game, do you think you're coming into this with any belief that it's going to be a certain 3 points? I mean, inconsistency has been just very, very prevalent in both sides, hasn't it?
Well, they've played quite well for the last 4 games in the league. We lost to Man U. That was frustrating because we were a better team at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And then just poor defending on all 3 goals, gifted Ronaldo a hat-trick. He's obviously one of the best of all time, but you can't give him that sort of space, and offside trap awful. But the run, I think we went to Leeds and thumped them 4-0. I last went up and we beat Everton 5-0. We scored 2 at Old Trafford and should have got something. And then we beat Brighton 2-0. So it's not a bad little run, really. You still don't have faith that it's going to be an easy win by a long stretch. But I think Conte said himself, he started to just to see we've turned the corner a little bit. He's shown frustration. Tottenham have had a problem for years with the medical staff. A player goes out injured and you don't see him for half a season. But he is frustrated that he hasn't got Oliver Skipp to call on, because he's a big, big fan of Oliver Skipp. But yeah, like I said a minute ago, the team sort of picks itself at the moment. He dropped Højbjerg, who a lot of Tottenham fans don't rate because he's been a bit all over the place, brought Winks in for a game. And since he's brought Højbjerg back in, he started playing well again. So maybe he needed that. But the rest of the team, he's down to his only choice at left wing back, which is probably our weakest area, because Reguilon, not a bad left back, but he's not a wing back. And you can see the frustration on Conte's face because Conte's style relies on the wing backs getting forward and attacking. So the wing backs will be trying to get assists, and the other wing back will be bombing down the wing to try and get on the end of the cross. And Reguilon, he does okay there, but the amount of chance one-on-ones he fluffs or the crosses he puts in the stand, a bit like Emerson when he plays on the other side, he's not a wing back. Mac Doherty's, who we got from Wolves, thought he was terrible by, but he's kept the shirt. He's actually done quite well the last few games, but you're never that confident at the moment as a Tottenham fan, because it's just a bit all over the place, really. Has been for a couple of seasons.
Yeah. Gary, when we played Spurs earlier on in the season at the London Stadium, the one thing I can remember that just Spurs were incredibly sloppy in the ball. They were doing long balls over to Reguilon on that left-hand side, and it was several occasions that the ball was just going out for a throw-in, going out for goal kicks. They were very much not on it that day, because Antonio scored the winner. They beat us in December, was it, in the Carabao Cup? So it's been pretty even, but Gary, I mean, it just depends on what Tottenham turn up and what West Ham side is available for David Moyes to pick, I think.
Exactly. I mean, I think, you've got one of the best strikers in the world, and that's something that we haven't got. Antonio's good, but Kane is a different level when he's interested. I think Conte's got that spark back in him. I think he was very upset over the Manchester City move that didn't go through as obvious for the first half of the season, because when he came to the London Stadium, he's probably the most disinterested footballer I've ever seen play. He moved around in about a 6-yard box all game, touched it about 4 times, was not interested at all. But now he seems like he's got his fire back, and he's world class. So I do fear tomorrow that he'll score against us again, because he's got 8 in 6 at White Hart Lane against us. So I think that could be a surefire bet down the bookies. Kane to score. This is how much we can contain him. I love Son. I think Son's a fantastic player, as I just said earlier. So I think Spurs will score. It's just whether we can get them back. So I do think they are vulnerable at the back. So it's whether we can get attack them as well.
Yeah. Let's take some comments and see who else we got in tonight. Gary, hope you are. We are massive indeed. Let's go on. Jake, Pete, hope you are, my friend. Jane, hope you are well. I have a somewhat unrelated question, Jake, but do you watch the behind the scenes videos the club puts out? I do. I haven't watched the severe one. I haven't got around to watching it yet, but yeah, I do tend to watch them. They are good. Let's scroll down. Gary says, I hope we've only done light training. It is easier when you play games every couple of days. It keeps you sharper. It could make the difference tomorrow. Depends what David Moyes has seen fit and what state the players were in on Friday when he saw them. We'll just have to wait and see. Everybody's saying hello. James says, I Dick and Co. currently 11-3 to France in the rugby, and let's hope that your dad, the underwriter, I owe you a pint deal that matures on your 18th birthday, hasn't forgotten my 1 pint claim. I know, James, I know. But I gave you a stream. It's not my fault it didn't work for the severe game. Was it my fault? I gave you a stream, James. Gave you a stream. Lawrence says, ridiculous. We need these points to stay competitive for top 6. Frema, hope you will. Yes, Son has been in poor form. Gary's got his ticket for the cut for the Europa League, I guess. Well done, Gary. Mandy says you can see not being in Europe has helped Spurs and Arsenal at times this season. Would you agree, Sean?
But the Tottenham were in Europe, weren't they?
Well,
We were in Europe for about 2 months, and I didn't want to be in that European competition, as you know. Always say, it definitely has helped Arsenal, especially if you look at their bench today. They haven't got a very good squad at all, but I think Arsenal probably get away from the other teams now a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't thought Tottenham might get a top 4 for months, to be honest. I thought when Conte first come in, it might turn it around a bit quicker, but I think he admitted himself it was a bigger mess than what he thought. But yeah, I don't. It's things playing in Europe. I said at the start of the season when we spoke about West Ham having a season, it's not just the extra game. It can disrupt your planning of the Premier League game. Do you know what I mean? Like when I'm sure Moyes hasn't discussed the Tottenham team until probably yesterday afternoon, probably at the earliest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just that sort of dynamic. Really, it's not the extra game. You've just got to change your whole setup, how the coaches plan their week. The medical team, they've got to trying to get players fit for 2 different games. So it's just more for the club to take on from top to bottom, really.
yeah, definitely.
I think it was interesting, Sean, that Arteta's complaining about the fixture congestion. It's unbelievable. They cancelled the game with you guys because one guy sneezed and had COVID. And B, they haven't been in Europe all year. It's ridiculous. I
know. He wants to moan, and then after this COVID breakout, I think they let 4 go in the January window and made the squad even smaller. I think
the thing I don't understand about it is somebody put on Twitter earlier is that they've played 6 games between the end of January and now. Man United have played 10, Spurs have played 8 or something like that. Everybody has played more than them, and they're complaining because they got a game on Wednesday and one on Saturday at 12:30.
Yeah, they got Chelsea, then United or something, or one of the other, isn't it? Something like that. And Tottenham have still got to play Arsenal, and I don't know whether Sky are purposely dragging their heels not to announce the date, where you can see the fight for top 4th place. I don't know if they're secretly hoping going to go to the wire a bit. I don't know. We'll see. You can't put any team outside of the first 2, even Chelsea, who haven't been brilliant at times. You can't really predict what's going to happen. It's too tough.
It's very tight there. Yeah, I agree.
It is for sure. Let's take some more of your comments then. So Kane is putting himself back in the window. Yeah, that was funny when he kicked that Coke bottle. That was I did smile at that, not gonna lie, but he is getting back into some form. Anthos, hope you're well, my friend. Point will be good tomorrow, says Will. Yeah, I agree, because that keeps us above them on goal differences. Of course we'd like to win. There's a game in hand in it, but it keeps us above them on goal difference. That stream was like a stream of all right, James, all right. Villa disappointing today. To help us overrated. Yeah, there's signings and just everything's going to pot for Villa. And Josh was on it 2 weeks ago saying how they might get Europe. Oh dear. Will says, have to admit Kane is class. Can we keep him quiet? Dawson Zuma. Well, we expect there's going to be Zuma and Dawson in there. You know, if Dawson's too tight, it might be Diop involved, Gary. But can we keep him quiet tomorrow?
Honestly, he's going to get a chance because he's a good player. But like I said, I think he'll score. I hope I'm wrong. So no, I think it's going to be very difficult. I mean, he's one of the best strikers in the world. City aren't going to try bid £100 million for someone who's no good. So, you know, we have to face facts. He's their best player, in my opinion. He's their captain. England, he will be, before he retires, England's record goal scorer. He'll probably break Rooney's record as well in the Premier League. So he's a very good player. So can we keep him quiet? Well, Virgil van Dawson will probably mark him well. Hopefully he kicks him in the first minute and then see what happens. That's what I would do if I was playing it myself.
Dawson will definitely ruffle him up in the first 5 minutes. Let him know that he's there.
Absolutely.
Just sneaks up again the words. Tell Gareth Southgate that Maguire's awful and he should be in the squad.
That's unbelievable. For months and months he says pick players on form when he picks Maguire. I mean, good grief.
I know. Chris, Leicester TV, go for 4, lads, smash the Spurs. Thank you very much, Chris. I'm sure that's not got anything to do with Spurs scoring 2 goals in the last 5 minutes at the King Power, I'm sure. But Chris, we thank you for your continued support. Frema says, I think we have to focus on our own game and not focus on how many Kane can get. Our defence is solid at the moment. I agree. The one, the only, Kieran. Hope you well. Morning, young Jake at 6:46 a.m. And I'm sure a very sunny Australia. Hope you're well, my friend. Dawson will take his unjust England snub out on Kane. Exactly. That's what he's going to do. But let's talk about Maguire. 80 quid bargain. Yeah, 80 quid. That might have been a bargain. 80 million. Oh. Let's talk about some predicted lineups then. So Sean, run us through what you think Antonio Conte will do tomorrow in terms of his lineup from starting in goal all the way up top.
Obviously, Lloris to be in goal. He had a little wobble. He's had a couple of games where he was at fault for a few goals about a month ago. He signed a new contract because he'd been very good for a couple of seasons, and then he started giving goals away. But yeah, he'll be there. We'll definitely be a back 3. Obviously, what's his name? Eric Dyer in the middle. Obviously, I know some don't outside of Tottenham don't like him, but he's been brilliant in the middle of the 3 when we've missed him. He's a bit like the organizer there. Romero, probably one of my favourite Tottenham players at the moment. He's very classy. Guaranteed booking. I think his next booking is his 10th. He's got that bit of South American in him where they don't care.
But Sean as well. But Antonio gave him a bit of a run around at the London Stadium. He had a bit of a nightmare against Antonio
I
can't remember.
He told him to get on the weights.
That was the beginning of the season. Then he missed 3 months and he did a hamstring injury or his knee. Played for Argentina and that was it. We didn't see him for like 3 months, but he's very classy. He's a classy type. In all honesty, he's probably too good for Tottenham, where we are at the moment. Ben Davies left of the 3. He's been decent there because that's his natural position for Wales. He's never been a very good left back, but left of a 3. Centre midfield 2. I said Højbjerg. He's splits fans. Some fans think he's terrible. Bentancur in the middle. He's been a very good signing. He got in January. He had a bit of a mare at Old Trafford, even though I thought we didn't do too bad there. But he's very classy, covers the ground well. But there will only be 2 in there. And then you'll have Reguilon left wing back, Doherty right wing back. Those 2, they can either be brilliant and win us a game or be awful and we'll struggle. It's one or the other because they are weak areas for us. Then that leaves a front 3. You're on about marking Kane. I think you've got to remember with Kane, he's a clever striker in a front 3 because he'll drop in the midfield and pick the ball up. So, and then you'll have the likes of Son making the runs. So, West Ham defence has got to be a little bit clever there. Son, he's probably going for his worst run of form since he's been at Tottenham. He's still scored a couple, but he looks like a player who needs 4 chances to get 1. He's still making the runs, but then he looks nervous to pull the trigger or decision making is just, don't know, he's just lost that edge a little bit in front of goal. And the last place would be Kulusevski, who's another January signing who I am a big fan of as well. He's only 21, but he's a bit of a unit. He's not like a lightning fast forward, but he's got that sort of powerful running style and pretty clever. Yeah, I do like the 2 new signings from Juve have been very good. And I know that when they got knocked out of Europe the other day, a few of their fans were moaning that they shouldn't have got rid of them. But yeah, like you said, that team sort of picks itself at the moment with no Skip available, who everyone seems to rave about at Tottenham. Yeah, so that'd be a team.
Yeah, from what Sean has said there, Gary. I mean, players that fear me. I think I've seen bits and pieces like Kulusevski when he came in. He looks good. That defense is gettable. I think Ben Davies, Eric Dyer. Yes, he's been good, but he's gettable. Romero, I don't think he particularly likes a big, strong Antonio up front that's going to muscle him about. There's weak areas at a 2 in midfield plays into our hands as well, especially with Rice and Souček in there. It's a beatable side, but then it's a side that can hit high levels.
Yeah, I mean, I think your defence, Sean, I think is your weak point. You did mention Loris. I think he's on his way down. I think he makes your mistake now. I'm not sure he's the keeper that Conte will keep. I think he'll get a new keeper in the summer myself. So I think we should certainly shoot at him. Dyer, I'm not a big fan of. Ben Davies, bit ambivalent about him, to be honest. And as you say, Jake Romero, Antonio gave him the right run around at the London Stadium. So I think I'm relatively confident about us getting at the centre backs, the wing backs. Okay, they're going to be at home. They're going to be pushing forward, so it's up to us to get in the spaces behind them. It's a pity Bowen is not going to be fit because I think he's a big miss for us. Yeah. So we just have to make sure that Benrahma, Lanzini, and Vlasic or Fornals, they get in behind the spaces at the back, as we did at Anfield very well. We got behind Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson very well and created a lot of chances. So let's hope we do the same thing tomorrow at Spurs.
Definitely, yeah. Bowen is a massive miss because I would fancy Bowen against Reguilón down that right/left hand side and against their defence. If we missed anything on Thursday night, it was Bowen because Fornals just doesn't quite have the same attributes and the same qualities that Jarrod Bowen has, running at players and doing what he does. Doing what he does best, but we'll have to cope with it until after the international break. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. And Maguire's not worth £80. I've ever pre-ordered the Lego Star Wars for that. Fair enough. If we play the same team and play like we did on Thursday, we will smash them, says Gary. Romero should have been blatantly sent off last time, blatantly spat at Fornals, and I've kept that grudge. I can't say I can remember that, JJ, but fair enough. Let's scroll down. Anton, hope you are well, my friend. Spurs know how to deal with Antonio. Also, Antonio has scored more against Tottenham than any other club, including earlier this season. Yeah, he loves a goal and he loves a celebration against Spurs, and he's got good memories from that place. So hopefully he can replicate them again tomorrow. Talk us through your starting lineup then, Gary. If you're David Moyes, you've assessed the fitness of the players.
Okay, I mean, obviously we don't know about any injuries, but Fabianski will start in goal, as he always does in the league. I think Ben Johnson will stay at right back, as Soufal for sure is still injured. I don't think he'll start with Fredericks. No. And then the centre backs, I think Dawson and Zuma pick themselves at the moment. They're both banging form, so that they'll play. I was surprised Cresswell played 120 minutes because he was injured against Villa on the Sunday on left back. But if he's fit, he should play because his dead ball expertise is very important for us on the left-hand side. And he's got a very underrated first touch as well. He brings the ball down nicely. Obviously, I think Declan will play. Thomas will play because they always play in the middle. Then front four, I wouldn't be surprised if Vlasic come in for Benrahma. And then Fornals and Lanzini. And then Mickey up front, who I thought again was immense against Sevilla. So I think that'll be my team.
Yeah, we've got to back David Moyes with his decisions and starting our lineup to run because we don't know the fitness of the players and what they're like after that grueling battle on Thursday night. So we've got to trust what David Moyes does when the team sheet comes out at 3:30. He's had very minimal time to assess the players to get the players prepared and ready for this game. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how we cope then. Who's the referee? Anthony Taylor is the referee tomorrow for the games. It's not Mike Dean, Thank God, not Mike Dean. Who's going tomorrow? Gary's going. I'm going. Happy days. Big game for Spurs tomorrow. It's a big game for both sides, I think. And I'm fed up with it. It's your cup final. It's your cup final. I'm bored of it already. It's just all the time, constant. Because Spurs think it's our cup final. We think it's their cup final. Just can't be bothered with it. Think we'll have to start strong. We'll be leggy as the game progresses. I agree, and that's where I think if the likes of Son with his pace can hit us with our complete lack of pace in our side, I think that could hurt us if we can get back into some form. That's for sure. We need to keep it tight. We need to assess the game quickly. Who are the VAR officials? I've got no idea, Sharky. Completely no idea. But I know it's not Mike Dean. I saw it earlier on. I know it's not Mike Dean, so that's a positive. From who Gary mentioned there, Sean, who's the key player for West Ham, you think, tomorrow?
It's not necessarily a individual player. It's more the spirit and the work rate as a unit. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you've asked me before who from West Ham's team would I take for Tottenham individually, I wouldn't say more than Rice individually, but it's this unit that Moyes has built up. Like individually, I think we've probably got subs that would probably start for you. Do you know what I mean? But it's your unity. Like you got like some Fornells in that. I think we got more on Bergwijn that are better individuals than him. But it's more that the unit that you've built, your dead balls, your corners. Like I said before, Moyes has got you a bit like he had Everton going 15 years ago, whatever it was, similar sort of thing. You got a few very, very good players, but so yes, just more how organised he's got you, and you look probably a little bit more of a finished article as a team than Tottenham at the moment, and we're probably a bit more still individuals. You know what I mean? Our two new signings said are good, but they've only played 5 or 6 games. Do you know what I mean? Romero's, I think he's going to be absolutely class. I'll be surprised if he's with us long, but like I said, he's had 3 months out. We've had 2 managers this season. We haven't really started building that team like Moyes has got. So yeah, it's just more the all-round sort of what you are really that is the danger. And obviously corners, and you see now Ronaldo had a free header in the box at Old Trafford the other week. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just your general team really. Rice is obviously very good. I'm a fan of Rice. I probably watch West Ham more than I should because of you, Jake, to be honest. Because I like to give my view across. Rice is obviously a top player, but I just wonder whether I could be wrong with Moyes is holding him back a little bit. Because when I watch you play, I just feel like he could be involved with the ball a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
It's a very tricky situation that David Moyes has got currently, because last season he played Declan Rice sitting, and Thomas Souček almost in that cam role, pushing up, getting in the box, and that's why he scored so many goals last season. And then this season he switched things up. He put Declan Rice in that full position, got Souček sitting, and Souček hasn't been great in that position, and Rice hasn't been scoring as many goals as Souček did last season in that position. So David Moyes in the last few weeks has started to swap them back again, which means Declan Rice is back sitting in front of that back four, which is what he was doing in the Euros inevitably. But every now and then he is getting forward, he's charging. A few times on Thursday night he was getting a ball and he was charging through, but he's doing that predominantly in that sitting role. Souček's getting forward, and as you saw, Souček scored on Thursday night. He scored a couple of weeks ago against Wolves. I think he scored. Souček's starting to score goals again, where he hasn't been scoring goals, obviously, when he's been in that position. That's why you see Declan Rice now in that role, because we know Declan Rice would prefer to be playing in that higher up role, but for the team, Souček scores more goals and is more effective. But it is the tricky situation that David Moyes has got on his hands. But let's scroll up and take some.
Declan Rice is probably the best defensive midfielder, best attacking midfielder, best centre back. So he can literally play anywhere he likes. So it's difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Kieran says, hope we don't do the old tactic of going 3-0 down again. Too stressful. Honestly, though, if there would have been 3,000 West Ham fans in that stadium when that Lanzini goal went in.
Yeah, with 8 minutes to go. Oh.
Absolute madness. Oko Flex is injured. He won't get on the pitch anyway. Literally just does not get on the pitch. Changing my opinion of Spurs fans. What a great guest you have on, Jake. Yeah, he's one of the more bearable Spurs fans. We have Sean on the roundup show on a Monday night with Josh. Speaking about the weekend's games. Sean, will you take that? One of the more bearable Spurs fans.
I don't expect you've met many of you, Jake. Really, not proper ones.
Yeah, true.
George, speaking of Spurs fans, can I ask you what the feeling is towards Levy at the moment?
Hello.
He's another one. Tottenham fans. I don't know what West Ham fans are like on social media, but Tottenham fans argue with each other about nearly everything. It's like Levy's one of them. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, Tottenham fans are always frustrated about the lack of backing. I think Conte's a very vocal coach, and he's more. I like to hear it. Conte's basically said, if he's not bagged, he'd probably go, and I like that sort of chat. But I think if Levy messes up Conte and Conte goes by backing him like he has Pochettino and Redknapp, even when we've been in a very strong position, he's gave him free transfers, some 35-year-old free transfers. If he tries doing it on the bargain again, Conte just go, and I think more fans will turn on him. But I don't know. It's just one of those ones where people have a moan at Levy, then it goes quiet, then fans will argue about it. And one of my pet hates is when fans say they used what other owners like at other clubs to then say, "Oh, at least we haven't got Roman Abramovich. At least we haven't got Mike Ashley." That doesn't make your owner good. Do you know what I mean? It's just
sounds familiar.
Just a cop-out argument. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm at the stage now where you just got to enjoy your football team winning a game. Do you know what I mean? If you're worried, stressing about what might happen the next game, like you've got Lyon in the Europa League, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's not even worth thinking about yet. It's just like, if you can't just enjoy a win and don't try not to let defeats get on top of you too much, or get wound up when January the 30th, whatever it is, ticks by and you bought no one. You just got it's pointless arguing with people because you know what owners are like. They'll do what they want to do in the end of the day, and they'll think they're right, and that's that.
I'll be honest, Sean, it's first European quarterfinal for 40 odd years, so I do think about it quite a lot, sadly. So I've got my ticket for the Lyon game already. So,
I think I'm assuming they got Tango and Ndombele from Tottenham in Lyon. Is that
yeah?
He eligible to play? He must be.
I think so.
I honestly don't know. I know they're only 10th in the French league, so
he's not bad, but I'm assuming they'll be playing him. So
yeah. Definitely, but bearable. As much bearable as a Spurs fan comes, James. I think Sean's all right. We love Sean. Just notice, Jay, do you get the tots without the shirt sponsor? Yeah, kids' shirts, they don't have sponsors, and I prefer it without the sponsor. I don't want Betway on my shirt. Especially not on the away kit this year when I get it on the £20 end of the season sale this year. I don't want that big box on it. No, thank you. I want the lovely Argentinian kit without Betway box on it. Oh. Anyway, let's scroll down. Rice should be used more on the attack. When he attacks offensive, good things happen. I can see where you're coming from, Lawrence, but more happens when Souček's in that position, and stats back that up, that Souček scores more goals than Declan Rice does when portrayed in that position. But I can see where you're coming from, because Declan Rice is good in that position without scoring as many goals as Souček does. I'd be a lot happier with Rice attacking if he kept his shots down, would score loads more. If he keeps them down. He sees it 30 yards out, his eyes light up, and the first thing I say when it comes, he said Rose Ed. That's what I say, because his head's up, he goes like that, and he lofts it over the bar. He does it every single time. Sharky says, I just try and concern myself with what's going on the pitch. I'm not really bothered about the boards. Yeah, that's the approach that I try and take on it. Let everybody else talk about the board. Let's talk about what the players are doing on the pitch. Let's go on to predictions then. We'll leave Sean till last, so I can shut my ears. Gary, we'll come to you first. Your prediction?
1-1.
Fair enough. Who's going to score the goal for West Ham?
Antonio, because as you say earlier, Jake, he loves to go against Tottenham.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm gonna go 1-0 West Ham win. Antonio to get the goal, because just nobody else is gonna score. It's gonna be Antonio down that end next to us, and it's and it's just going to be some sort of celebration that he's been working on all week.
I haven't actually been to the new stadium yet. I'm looking forward to it actually. So.
Yeah, so am I. So I tell you what, the tickets are coming. They're about that long. They're ridiculously long. But anyway, Sean, your prediction?
I think you're both probably pretty close. I'll be disappointed if Tottenham don't score. So 1-0. I think that'd be a bad result. 1-0. Yeah, 1-1's not far away. I can't remember the last draw we had in the league.
I can't. Did Wolves win it?
Wolves, our place, Southampton won our place back to back. I can't remember the last draw we had at home. So probably 1-1. Might even see a 2-2. Might depend on if West Ham are struggling with fitness and go 1-0. What you will find at the Tottenham Stadium is like you got to show that ticket about 3 times to get in.
Really?
It's like going to an airport a little bit. You've got to do like your bag search. You go for a scanner. They'll scan your ticket on the steps with his hand device. Then you'll push it into the turnstile. Yeah.
God.
It's a bit like going to an airport.
You got your passport, Sean, as well, haven't you?
Sorry?
Have you got to bring your passport as well?
Not anymore. They were one of the first stadiums to do the old COVID check before the government made it a necessity. But no, I'll be surprised you don't enjoy the stadium anyway, if nothing else.
Well, oh, don't worry, Sean. That's not the only thing we'll be enjoying. That is for sure. Let's take some of your predictions then. Like and subscribe, people. Sharky, what's your opinion on the new badges? Do you like the little irons? Lawrence as well. What do you think of it? You can become a channel member and have irons next to your name by clicking the link in the chat. You get Craig Dawson. You get Craig Dawson emojis. What more in the world could you want? Click the link here. Bonus videos, all that stuff. You know what to do. Let's take your predictions then. 2-0 says JJ. 0-0 says 2-1 West Ham, 2-1 West Ham, 2-2 Zuma and Souček, 2-2 3 in game, plenty of 2-2s, 2-1s, all of this. 1-1, 4 nows to score, says Sharky. Spuds get battered even at home, everywhere they go. What's the food like at the Spurs ground? Because aren't the pints in like weird glasses and it's all a bit weird?
Well, I've actually been. The first time I went there, I was in the away end because I went with the Southampton under-18 in one of the trial games when they half filled the stadium and all that. I'm sure it's good, but obviously being the away end, you don't get all the frills that the home fans have got. In the home end, it's like a bit like a shopping mall inside with every sort of independent. They got a brewery inside that brew their own beer, and they got Indonesian, Thai, everything.
It can't be as good as our candy floss and popcorn. Can't be as good as our candy floss and popcorn.
I assume I think you do get the pints that fill up underneath. Just make sure underneath because it'll fall right in your trainers.
It's got to be cheaper than the Emirates, isn't it? Because Emirates, when I went there, it was like £16.50 for a burger and chips.
Yeah, it's not OTT prices. Obviously, on the Tottenham High Road, walking from the tube, you've got plenty of kebab shops and German kebab restaurants and what have you to choose from, Caribbean, you name it.
Okay.
So go around the world walking at the High Road.
Oh, there we go. Final prediction goes to James. 2-0 West Ham with a perennial Spuds, Basha, Antonio and Lanzini scoring. Love it. Or the rubbish hot dogs. Yeah, don't even get Dad started on them things, honestly. The picture and what you get, Instagram reality, and what you actually get is a lot different. £7.50 daylight robbery, but we could talk about that all night about that in the stadium. But anyway, I think there'll be plenty of cars tomorrow. One Reddit Lee says with jazzy. Sharky says I like it. I think it's better. Good. Thank you very much, Sharky. Thanks everybody for watching. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to West Ham Official if you are new. This has been the pre-game breakdown for Spurs versus West Ham. Any final thoughts from the pair of you?
I think Tottenham need to win and then beat Arsenal in the game in hand to have any chance of top 4. I'll be surprised. I think tomorrow will be a draw and we'll fizzle the season out slowly without sounding too downbeat.
Gary, any final thoughts?
No, I just hope we carry the euphoria on Thursday into tomorrow, and then if we play as well as we did on Thursday, I think we can win. It's just I'm a little bit worried about the energy levels. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. So let's hope we can continue to keep the fitness up.
Yeah, there's no doubt that away end will be rocking tomorrow after Thursday night. We're all going on a European tour, rinse and repeat. But we'll see you there. Match day vlog tomorrow. Of course, no match day program because I'm not quite at a stage to employ somebody to do it when I'm at games. Not quite at that stage yet. Not quite there. But there will be a match day vlog at some point after the game. But come on, your ones from me and Gary. Gary, I'll see you tomorrow. Sean, don't enjoy the game. And I look forward to seeing a smile on my face and not yours on Monday night. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to West Ham Official. If you're new, check out our channel sponsors, SRM Carver and Sunburn. Click the link in the description down below. That's it from us. And we'll catch you soon. Cheers, guys.